Before T.I. was the king of the South, before going platinum 5 times with his albums Trap Muzik, Urban Legend, King T.I. vs. T.I.P, and Paper Trail, before launching his acting career appearing in films like American Gangster, Get Hard, and Ant-Man.
Okay, wait a minute. There was a black guy that looked exactly like me who attacked us and put us in the back of this disgusting van.
Before owing the IRS $4.5 million for unpaid taxes for the years 2012 and 2013. Before having his own reality show The Family Hustle on VH1.
This is the Harris family contract. We commit to being an active part of the Harris family, dog.
Before T.I. would launch IGGY AZALEA to the mainstream, and then the two would have a falling out and go their separate ways.
Have you guys talked?
Personally, no.
T.I. was born in Atlanta, Georgia, raised by his mother and grandparents. He began rapping before the age of 10, but due to his family's financial situation, he found himself dealing drugs by his early teens to earn some money. Between the arrests and violence, T.I. continued to rap, selling mixtapes out of the trunk of his car to get his name out there. A producer came across his music, and by the age of 19, he was signed to LaFace Records, but he would soon find out that getting signed was one thing, and getting a platinum record was another. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael McCredden, documenting the life and career of T.I. prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. Can you believe we've waited this long to get this bio done? You guys have been asking for it for a long time, so I hope you enjoy it. We've also covered other rappers including Young Thug and Lil Wayne, but I think Lil Wayne needs an update. Let us know who's next in the comments down below. T.I. was born Clifford Joseph Harris Jr. on September 25th, 1980 in Atlanta, Georgia. Now Clifford may be an okay name if you're a big red dog, but for T.I. it never really fit.
Is your name Clifford?
That's my government name, which absolutely no one ever calls me.
Okay.
You got judges, policemen, and bankers.
His father gave him the nickname of Tip from a young age, and he took that as his true name, still going by it today. Tip was raised by his mother and grandparents in the Bankhead area of Atlanta and started rapping at 9 years old. I know, rapping at 9 years old sounds kinda lame, but young Tip wasn't spitting rhymes about G.I. Joes and Michael Jordans. He was all about them ladies.
I just wrote about me and all the girls who I like.
So you would rap about Tiffany?
A little bit.
What would you say?
Just how she should like me.
Now that may seem lame too, but it totally worked. Maybe a little too well.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
I'm in 11.
And who was the special girl? Well, it was LaShawn Dixon, who would become the first of Tip's baby mamas, but not for another 9 years. That would be weird. And a lot to worry about. You know what I mean? You're still raising yourself. You can't raise... I'm glad they waited. As a teen, Tip attended Douglas High School, whose alumni include other rappers like Killer Mike and Little John.
Yeah.
At the same time Tip started high school, he also began to deal drugs, which led him down a dangerous path for most of his teens. Tip eventually dropped out of high school to deal full-time out of his mom's crib, and the crimes just got more serious. He was handling machine guns, getting into shootouts, and cooking crack.
Peanut butter and crack.
When Tip wasn't dealing, he was making mixtapes and selling them out of the trunk of his car with his friend and fellow rapper Big Country King. And in 1997, with 5 other rappers, they formed the group The Pimp Squad Clique. But that same year, everything in Tip's life would have to be put on hold when he was arrested for the manufacturing and distribution of crack cocaine.
Crack is whack.
Tip was sentenced to 7 months in prison and 7 years probation, which would cause problems for him again in the future. Now things aren't looking that great for young Tip. He's a high school dropout with a criminal record, whose only options seem to be going back to dealing. But it turns out those mixtapes that he had been making were about to change his life. Producers had got a hold of Tip's music, and at the age of 19, he was signed to LaFace Records under the famed producer L.A. Reid and Babyface. There was just one small problem: LaFace had already signed an artist named Q-Tip, and felt having both would be too confusing.
There can be only one.
With the new moniker T.I., he dropped his first ever studio album, I'm Serious, on October 9, 2001, and its first single featuring Beanie Man, also called I'm Serious. Geez, do you think he's serious? I think so.
That's not funny!
During this time, Tip's personal life was also blowing up. Remember LaShawn, the girl Tip lost his virginity to? Well, she gave birth to their 2 sons in 2000 and 2001. She'd be like, I knew you'd make it! I knew you made it! I'm glad I stuck it out!
That's not funny.
T.I.P also welcomed a daughter into the world in 2001 from R&B singer Miss Nico. And in the same year, he also met his longtime girlfriend, baby mama, and wife, Tamika Tiny Harris. I can't talk about the relationship for too long though, because with all the drama and history these two have, it's a whole other video. Despite having the help of the Neptunes as producers, I'm Serious was not a commercial success, selling only a total of 163,000 copies and peaking at number 93 on the charts. The combined underwhelming performance of I'm Serious, along with the label's decision to focus more on pop acts like Pink and Avril Lavigne, caused T.I.P to be dropped after only one album. Now that baby mama would be like, you see, now you're all home, we're fucked. Damn it, Michael! T.I.P didn't take being dropped as a defeat and teamed up with his old crew, the Pimp Squad Clique. Together they released the mixtape In the Streets under T.I.P's newly formed label Grand Hustle Records. He also gained more mainstream exposure when he appeared on the Bone Crusher track Never Scared in 2003. It wasn't long until producers were back knocking on T.I.P's door.
Hope for the best, but I don't think he gon' make it. Not the way he was shivering and shaking on the pavement.
Atlantic Records partnered with Grand Hustle to release T.I.P's second studio album after working with various artists and producers including Kanye West and David Banner. Trap Muzik was released on August 19th, 2003.
A rubber band, man, like a one-man band. Treat these rappers like the Apollo when I'm the Sandman.
The album was a huge success, debuting at number 4 and selling 109,000 copies in its first week. That's over 65% of his first album's total sales. T.I.P began immediately working on his third album, Urban Legend, but production was halted in March 2004 when T.I.P was arrested for a probation violation. That's right, T.I.P was still on probation from his arrest in 1997 and was sentenced to 3 years in jail. The sentence didn't last its full 3 years, or even a full 3 months for that matter, and T.I.P was released into a work program. He may have been there for a short time, but he made the most of it, including shooting a promotional video for himself inside the jail, which resulted in an inmate escaping and the sheriff to be fired. For real. After his brief incarceration, T.I.P went back to work and released his third album, Urban Legend. With the producing power of Swiss Beats and all the hype from his jail time, Urban Legend reached number 1 on the R&B and hip-hop charts, went platinum and sold 1.5 million copies in the US. T.I.P had finally made a name for himself in the rap game, but that didn't mean that there wouldn't be any more trouble down the road. We're talking arrests, we're talking addictions, we're talking IGGY AZALEA. But for the rest of the story, well, you know the story because this is before they're famous. Actually, if you want to know more, request an after they're famous down below. I'll be sure to get that done. My name is Michael McCrudden. We make all sorts of biography videos here, and you guys requested this one. Be sure to let us know who's next in the comments down below. Hit subscribe and check out these other videos. They're fantastic.
She's in love with her boyfriend.
That's wonderful. That's positive.
She's engaged. She's getting married.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Great
That's
stuff.
great. Absolutely.